The White House is in full panic mode after Vice President J.D. Vance's secret dinner meeting with Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Todd Blanche, and Susie Wiles, who of course is Donald Trump's chief of staff, was revealed to the public on Wednesday. You see, the meeting was supposed to be about whether, how are we handling, I guess, the Epstein issue? Should we release the Ghislaine Maxwell transcripts that, of course, we have learned now, show nothing bad against Donald Trump. In fact, according to reports, Maxwell actually said she never once saw Donald Trump do anything remotely questionable. But basically what this was supposed to be was a damage control meeting, because this is the scandal that just will not ever stop for the administration. And when it was revealed that this was going to happen on Wednesday, the White House immediately freaked out and canceled the dinner, but not before denying that it even existed. Donald Trump himself went ballistic on a reporter who decided to ask him about the recent reports. The reporter said, "Is he hosting some kind of gathering of top advisors this evening to talk about how to respond to the situation?" And Trump said, "I don't know. I could ask you that question." No, like, why would you even say that? Like, I don't know. Maybe I could ask you that question. What's the vice president going to do tonight? You're his boss. And these are all your people that you're also the boss of that were going to be at the meeting. If a meeting was happening, you would know about it. Like, the reporter was asking you because they wanted to know. Like, why don't I ask you that question? What a childish, immature, dumbass thing to say. And Trump wasn't done. He said, "I don't know of it, but I think, hey, here's the man right here." And he points to J.D. Vance, throwing him under the bus. And then Vance steps up to the reporter and he goes, "I saw it reported today and it's completely fake news. We're not meeting to talk about the Epstein situation, and I think the reporter who reported it needs to get better sources." And then Donald Trump jumped in and said, "Look, the whole thing is a hoax. It's put out by the Democrats because we've had the most successful 6 months in the history of our country, and that's just a way of trying to divert attention to something that's total bullshit, okay?" Yeah, that is exactly how a totally innocent person is going to respond to a simple question of, is there a meeting? It's bullshit, okay? I've had the best 6 months ever. Literally, by every measure, you have actually had the worst 6 months of any president in history, possibly with the exception of William Henry Harrison, because he died after 30 days. But yeah, I'd still say you're probably worse than Harrison. So you're lying your face off about knowing about the meeting. You're lying your face off about what happened in your first 6 months. You're clearly getting agitated by it to the point of openly using profanity with reporters, which can also be, something that happens in people with dementia. But this man is on edge. This man is losing his mind. He is losing his grip on reality. And he's losing his grip on all those things because he is losing his grip on MAGA. It was also reported this week that the White House is attempting to reach out to Joe Rogan to come up with some kind of deal with him for him to stop talking about the Epstein issue, which of course has further driven a wedge between Rogan and his support for Donald Trump. So they're panicking. They're freaking out. They are losing allies left and right over this particular issue. They know that a majority of Americans think that Donald Trump is now hiding something. A new poll came out this week that shows huge percentages of people have changed their opinion about how Epstein died. You now have like a lot of the country, not quite half, but almost there, that thinks Trump did it. So yeah, this is becoming a problem. And releasing, altered, edited, selective transcripts from Ghislaine Maxwell talking to your former personal attorney is not going to do anything to help this. And they know that, and that's what the dinner was supposed to be about. But I guess now they're just going to have to do it in secret. Maybe they already did, maybe they didn't. But they've made the scandal so much worse by trying to have a meeting to talk about the cover-up of the cover-up, and you're now trying to cover up the cover-up of the cover-up, and that typically doesn't end well. Thanks for watching, everyone. We're inching closer and closer to 1 million subscribers, and we're aiming to hit that goal before the year closes. So if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do so, and Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Thanks for joining us as we head towards this huge milestone.